Yeah,
So
no. So yeah, these one shots are great. And then yeah, so Caffeinated Hearts, like this is honest and a bit vulnerable, but I haven't had a comic that like almost brought me to tears. I
oh
didn't I
wow,
didn't I didn't have tears, but it was just like
yeah,
I had that feeling of like, yeah, like this story could like if it was told cinematically, like
yeah.
it might bring a tear to my eye. It was such a joy to read.
Thank you.
Like
Yeah, it's relatable. You know,
it's very relatable
it's
because
a human story. Yeah.
it's so like when we talked about it, it's like a steampunk Jetsons
Mm.
in a way,
Right.
and
Right.
it's like you can feel that busyness of life, like
Mm-hmm.
from the dialogue that's going on, as well as like the art that Stefano did for
Mm-hmm.
you. Like you can just feel the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and yeah, I love how he drew the cafe. Like that's
Yeah.
just like it
It's
came up out of the ground almost.
right. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
all his thinking too. You know, I wrote the script without it being in that type of cyberpunk, steampunk universe. He just said, he's like, "What do you think about it being like this?" I'm like, "Of course. Why didn't I think of that? That's why you're
yeah.
the artist,
Wow.
man." So
That's the
kudos
power
to
of
him.
collaboration right there, though.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
Yeah,
um,
because I definitely think that that brings a level to it that of like it's one of those things again of like just showing the humanity of it because
mm-hmm.
it's all this chaos and all this like advancement is happening in the background, but the same issues and the same problems
Mm-hmm.
are still happening, you
Right.
know? And
yeah.
I think that that's cathartic, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of people that are scared of
Well,
change or what the future is. It's like, listen, people are still going to have problems. We're still going to have nice places to get drinks,
Right.
you know? Like
yeah. Well, and it's
we'll
just
be
like
okay.
there's the transition of scenes or panels when there's the guy in line who's like at the end of the "I'm gonna keep giving back" line,
Right.
and he's just too busy and doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he kind of ends up doing it anyway because he just throws his money at the girl,
Yeah. Right.
and then the next guy is just like, yeah, I just came here to get coffee for my company and I forgot my wallet. I'm super embarrassed, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. And it's just like, yeah, I've dealt with a jerk like that before, and I've also been the guy who like, man, I forgot my wallet and like everybody's counting on me, like I'm
Yeah.
really sorry. And just the way that that story just unfolds and how that all impacts the star, man, I'm forgetting her name.
L.
Elle, yeah.
Emerella is her full name, but she goes
Amarella,
by
yeah.
L. Yeah.
So where's this one come from? Where did you base this on? What was your
Well,
muse?
it really started with Stefano and I both are big coffee connoisseurs. And, we love coffee. We have that in common. It's a big part of our lives. And, when we were wrapping up Space Cadet, just like how we were wrapping up Freak Show Night, he's like, all right, what's the next project? I said, what do you think about A Slice of Life? And he's like, cool, what's that? And I was like, well, what if we took a story that only took place in a coffee shop? It was one day in a coffee shop, and we have like these Pulp Fiction-esque type stories that are connected, and he was down for that. And
Yeah,
you can tell, a coffee shop has so many stories in it every single day. If
yeah,
you hang out and you just sit back and you watch, you see these different people come in. Some people are really involved with the people who are working behind the counter. Some people could care less. Some people are just going in there to use the restroom.
mhm,
It's just so many different things, and there's so much story.
yeah,
So yeah, we crowdfunded that one at the beginning of the year, and by the end of the year, it was out in comic book stores too. So
yeah.
Hyperware and Caffeinated Hearts came out 1 week apart. That was
Oh,
Oh yeah,
really?
that
yeah.
was like really that shocked me. That's probably the first and last time that's going to happen
Wow.
to me.
Hopefully not.
Wow.
That's
I
really
know,
cool.
hopefully not, but that was really cool.
Yeah, so I used to be a barista,
Oh,
and
okay.
so this was very close to home for me, and definitely
Hmm.
just,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, just being able to see all this stuff, and I really what I appreciated so much about the narrative was I don't really want to spoil how it ends,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to encourage everybody how to read it, but how you bring in that character
Mm-hmm.
again, and
Yeah.
it
Hmm.
just works so perfectly, and it's very much like a poem or a song, and
Yeah.
how like
Thank
it
you.
it plays out
Yeah,
very much of just like everything is is flowing very well. Nothing feels forced, like bringing this back in or having
Everything's
this
happened
thing.
very naturally.
Yes,
Yeah.
like
Like,
Thank you.
it flowed very well. Like the story
Yeah.
was, just
Yeah.
told very smoothly.
I was trying to tell it in a more poetic way than your typical.
it was very poetic.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad I came across, and
Yeah.
a lot of as you mentioned the barista part, a lot of coffee shops that are also comic book store or vice versa, comic book store that has coffee. They reached
Yeah.
out to me, they're like, we got to carry this book. We're a coffee shop and comic book store. You blended
Yeah.
both together, and that just made me so happy.
That's awesome.
Shops telling me they're going to make their own like blend or create their own coffee
wow.
to pair with that one.
That's really
it was
cool.
like best thing I could hear for that. So
Yeah.
super proud of that book.
Yeah, no, it was just very, very real. And like, I've also formerly been a barista, and so I'm originally from the Boise, Idaho area.
Okay.
And I worked at the coffee shop right at the bottom of Bogus Basin, which is a ski hill.
Oh, okay.
And it was a walk-in and a drive-through, and I often on like any given night of the winter worked by myself and would just have these massive lines. And like the slice of life of just understanding, like you might just be a barista like at some ski hill, and you're going to deal with all sorts of different people, and some people are just going to like make your day terrible, but there's still the people out there who are just going to make your day A+. And there was one time at the ski hill too that it was one of those situations. I was working by myself. There was a line at the counter, a line at the drive-through, and I had this one lady who, I feel sorry about my interaction with her, but like she chose like the worst time to start complaining about how long it was taking to get her coffee, because she was in town to take her grandson and his friends for his birthday up to the hill. And I'm just like, I understand.
Now she's number one priority.
And I'm like, I understand your dilemma, lady, but do you not see my dilemma? Like, do you not see how I'm here by myself and I'm running 2 registers? And so like the Caffeinated Hearts really hit it. It really struck my heart.
Oh, thank you.
You
And as you can probably see, we only see one employee at that coffee shop, but we know there's a second one. Miss Hazel is telling her to go to break, come back, get on the drive-through. We don't see her, but and you don't have to have worked in a coffee shop to appreciate the being alone at work, but having someone telling you what to do, and where is that person? You can even just be a customer that can appreciate, like, where's the manager? But this poor person's working, their ass off, but they need some help. I hope it translates to a lot of people other than those that have worked at coffee shops. If you've dealt with the public, you probably can relate to it.
Yeah, for sure. But
we're I was just going to say, go ahead.
We are going to keep speaking in sync.